100,000 folks total in terms of social media. And what I want to do is share something. And again, to my LinkedIn friends, he is his business. He's talking about, his personal life and stuff like that. What I'm about to share with you has a lot of, man, I've learned so much this year and I continue to learn a lot. And I'm going to share with you a lot of things I learned that allowed me to drop 30 pounds this year with no dieting, no supplements, really not a lot of, in terms of intense workout programs or whatever. And today I can say on the whole, it was actually really easy. And I'll share with you exactly what I did. And man, did I have to go through a personal journey and discovery. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chat on the screen here. So if you have any questions during the process, I'm going to share a lot of links. I'm going to share a lot of products. I'm going to share a lot of resources and books and things that I used that it made it all work for me. And I'll share a little bit of my backstory so that I'm probably just like a lot of y'all when it comes to staying in shape, getting in shape, being healthy, that sort of thing. There's a lot of distractions out there. And so now one question is going to come up. I can share with you a couple things. Do I have before and after photos? Oh yeah, but I'm not sharing that before photo. Arthur, thank you so much. Arthur Yon, great work, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the chat window up here. Some of the comments might have your name, some might not. Let's see here if I put that on there. Yeah, okay, cool. So bring them, come on in, because again, as I go through some of this stuff, I'm probably gonna go through it pretty quickly, and you'll probably have some questions as well. So first off, I will stand in front of the camera. I'm not showing you those before photos because they're shirtless and it's not a good look for me. So that was the beginning of actually, it was April 1st is when I really got serious. So I had dropped about 10 pounds between January 1st and April 1st. And then I just kind of started petering out a little bit on the weight loss. But then April 1st, that's when it really got serious. And I'll share with you exactly what I did and why that got. Okay, so here I am today, kind of stepping from. So I am wearing right now, this is crazy. And again, I hope you know my heart and always showing off, blah, 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 blah. It's humbling to go clothing shopping and you start with the size 30, for me, you start with the size 34 pants and you're like, I could probably go to, I knew that I didn't need to wear those. So then I go back to the rack and I'm like, well, let's try the 33s. 33s still working. They're kind of still loose in the waist a little bit. I'd been taking measurements. I know my measurements, but still psychologically, it's still, it's hard to process that. So then I just went jean shopping this past weekend with my wife and my daughter, went to American Eagle. So then I go for the 32s, and these aren't just the 32s. These are the 32, what they call the skinny jeans. Guys, I don't wear skinny jeans. I used to be a really heavy dude. I used to be about 230 pounds. And I'll share that story in just a second, but I just want to kind of share this before I get going, kind of sharing exactly what I did. But, and I'll tell you, there is one huge discovery, and I'm going to give you a TLDR, about 20 minutes into this, 15 minutes into this or whatever. And I'm telling you, if I could boil it down to one absolute principle, secret, intermittent fasting, huge fan. David Nordell, what you put in your mouth, it affects your mind and mood. It matters more. Absolutely matters way more. Dave, let me get your comment on there because that is so insightful. And that's absolutely, I can tell you psychologically, I can tell you emotionally, my confidence, how I feel around my wife, how I feel around other people. It just matters. I'm a good, positive person, I think, on the inside, but cut out sugar. Totally. I'll get to that. Trust me. What you talk about IF and cutting out sugar, absolutely part of it. But there's a lot of little things. I'll break down every single thing that I did. And I'll tell you as well what did not work for me. And I've got some things that absolutely did not work for me. In fact, I ended up getting pretty badly injured as a result of it. So So eventually I went and I'm like, I'm just going to grab. In fact, I went to, so I'll tell you this. And I grabbed the 31 skinny jeans, and that's what I'm wearing today. And again, I do not say that to brag in any way. I'm sharing that because it's like, it's just not, my brain still thinks that's not who you are. Like, you don't wear skinny jeans. Who else? Comment below if you had to wear the husky jeans in school. In middle school, I wore husky jeans, and this is during the 80s, right? And so not only were they the husky jeans, they were the husky corduroy jeans. So when little Joshy was walking down the hallway, you heard me coming, because those thighs, man, they were like doing a number. It was like playing the, what do you call that? Where you're like in a banjo band, one of those jug bands or whatever like that, the washboard. Yeah. Little Josh, 8th grader Josh, 7th grader Josh walking down the hallway. And man, it sounded like the jug band was just getting ready to crank up because someone's cranking away on the washboard. That was me. All right. So that was in the Navy, so I was a little husky, got a little slimmer in high school, joined the Navy, was doing all right. But toward the end of the Navy, started putting on some weight, got married. That's definitely when I spiked up to 230. Now, the first time that I dropped down from 230, there was a lot of up and down and stuff like in the process. But then I got bell bottoms too. Oh, geez. Yeah, don't even. I think now, thankfully, in the 70s I did when I was in elementary school for sure. All right. So, during marriage, ballooned up to 230 pounds. Now, in a 5'9" frame, that's a little unhealthy. And I had doctors tell me, now the first time, and this was about 14, 15 years ago, I got real serious but I'll tell you what, it was very unhealthy. I basically starved myself for about 6 months, and I got down to about 170. And I did it, and I starved myself, and it was very unhealthy. I lost a lot of muscle mass. It was just not good for me psychologically during the process. Like, because I was starving myself, it was like messing with my emotions and my brain. I was not a good person. I was always hangry. I'm just going to put some of these other comments on here, man. Cut out sugar, IF. Yeah, totally wore BJ, totally wore the husky jeans. I was pretty thick when I was 12, got on a bike and slimmed down though. Yeah, BJ, you're pretty good shape. You're a good guy. You're a good looking dude, guy to guy. All right. So, but yeah, go ahead and keep those comments coming. And again, I'll showcase those on screen. So, but yeah, so what I was doing too, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this. I was taking HCG shots as well. And so the idea there was going to try and keep you from losing too much muscle mass while you fast and, starve yourself. It wasn't great. And you're not going to believe what happened. After I lost the weight came back, not all of it. I always pretty much stayed under the 200s. Okay. So last year, I read a book, and that book was, I'm going to put it on screen right here, because this book, I'd say, is probably one of the best books, James Clear, Atomic Habits. If you've read that book, comment below and let me know what you picked up from that book. I think it is on the must read. So my friends on LinkedIn are like, you're only supposed to be talking about business stuff on LinkedIn. All right, there's a business book for you. Go read that book, Atomic Habits, if you haven't already. It's a life-changing book because it talks about getting the big things done is the accumulation. It's all the micro decisions that you make on a daily basis, right? And it also taught me the principle. I already was familiar with this, but about accountability, about anchoring and getting leverage on yourself as well. I mean, it is probably one of the best mind hacking books that I have ever read. James Clear, Atomic Habits, here, as I'll put on screen right here. This is one of the books I keep so I can kind of show from time to time. But this book, hey, by the way, before I continue on, if you guys are not registered, we're doing doing an event. Oh, I've had that on screen here. So just want to take a break here. Fameandprofit.com, we're doing a live event And we've got 40 speakers. I'm going to be teaching a lot about my success principles at this event, but we have 40 speakers. They're all 6, 7, 8-figure business leaders. And they're going to be teaching about how to grow your business by relationships, authenticity, no more spamming, no more email junk, sliding into DMs and selling at people with these nasty scripts that just offend people. Like, don't do any of that stuff. Like, exactly what to say on sales calls, exactly how to lead gen, exactly how to be an amazing leader in your organization. Just go to fameandprofit.com and you can get that free ticket right now. It's completely sponsored. We have 8 amazing sponsors. They've paid for everything. Just show up, get your free ticket. We'd love to have you. All right. Back to the story. So by the way, if you've registered, comment below. I want to know who's coming and I'll shout you out as well. So, okay, getting back to the story. So this year, and this was the big thing, right? And this is where it really started. What happened April 1st? What I did using the principles, and there's, BJ, I read it this year, already need to read it again. Yeah, I agree. I would read Atomic Habits. It's an annual read. There's books like that. E-Myth is one, Atomic Habits, Go Giver is another book I would read every single year. You could read all of Bob Burg's books every single year. I'm a huge fan. Awesome. All right, David Nordell, we're going to bring the Max Fab. Sounds good. All right. So here's what happened on knowing the principles of leverage and daily activity. I'm going to put this link on. This is it. This is not the emotional thing. I'm going to get to the biggest discovery in a few moments, but this is, I would say, the structure or the program that I used that made all the difference for me. And that's Healthy Wage. I don't work for them. I'm not an influencer for them. I should be because I've got a great story. That is, and I think you get like a bonus or something like that. And I don't know if I get anything. So, but if you do click on that, or you could just Google it or whatever. But I think that this one, if you just go to their website, like you don't get any bonuses. But if you use, I think anyone's link, then you get like an extra $10 or so. I don't know what it is. But let me tell you my story. So here's what happened, right? So I was on vacation. I was so frustrated. Like I'd only lost 10 pounds over between January, February, March, and I was already stalling out big time. And so I listened to a couple of podcasts with the founder of Healthy Wage. I'm going to find him and I'm going to get him on my podcast, The Thoughtful Entrepreneur. But I listened to a few podcasts with him. And what he talked about is he said, listen, and he kind of said, here's how to make this work for you. He said, first off, don't make an impossible bet, right? In other words, like it wouldn't have been smart for me to say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds because I don't think that would be very realistic, but 30, or actually I said 25 pounds and I exceeded that. So I said, I bet. So you want something that's a stretch, but not like impossible. Like even if you were to say, I'm going to bet that I can lose 10 pounds. It's doable. It's better to do that than to bet. And even if you don't win as much money, what's more important to you? Winning a little bit of money or, dropping 25, 30 pounds if you really need to? For me, it was losing that extra weight, right? So I said, I'm going to bet. Oh, and the other thing he said is your bet should be uncomfortable. Because if it's like, I don't care if I lose $200, no big deal. So I bet $200 a month, which came out to $1,200. $1,200, that's at the level now where I'm like, it wasn't about, because I won some money too. And I'll post below like screenshots of like my winnings and stuff. And I'll post in the comments below as well, like a photo of like my weight chart and like exactly what it looked like. So I did, I bet $1,200, which, that's like, so is it more, it was more about the stick than the carrot. Cause I think I ended up winning about $50 on top of the $1,200, but getting my $1,200 back, which I did. Right. But all along the way, I'm like thinking, yeah, cool, $50 or whatever, but you are not getting my $1,200. And every single day, when I had decisions about what I was going to eat or not eat, Friday night, want to party, want to have fun, want to have that second drink or whatever it is, or eat that unhealthy food or eat that dessert or go back for seconds. I was like, here's the thing, right here. Listen to what my brain was saying. I can, Oh, I can eat whatever I want. However, it's going to affect my ability to win the race. So because of that, it's the mastery of the micro decisions, right? Now, normally and again, in Atomic Habits, they talk about this, right? If it's me constantly saying, ooh, I want to treat, ooh, I want to reward myself, ooh, Friday night, I'm going to totally splurge because I've earned it, baby. Wrong. That for me, no way. That kind of mindset is not going to work. I have to want the outcome more than I want the treat or whatever. And so and I learned about this training for a marathon as well, which I ran a number of years ago, right? And so if I did not get out and do my daily running, guess what was going to happen? I wasn't going to be able to finish that 26 miles. Right. And in the case of the Disney marathon, there's what they call the Goofy Bus, and it's going to come along almost like something out of like Soylent Green, right? Where this big truck comes along and just scoops up people. You get scooped up if you don't make your time. And there's a lot of races that are like that. I'm like, I am not going to get picked up by the Goofy Bus. So I paid the money, I bought the ticket, registered for the marathon. And I did it because I had a goal, and that goal was in front of me every single day, right? Just like this event, the Fame and Profit Summit that we're doing, which, that's the URL down there. Like it was scary. Like, and we made big investments, like to tens of thousands of dollars into this event. It's already profitable. And we had to make the investments in order to realize the outcome. Right. So we have really great people, great advisors, seeking great counsel. And as a result, Fame and Profit is already a success. Registrations are absolutely on par. We would love to have you at this event. Getting back to my story. So begin the first month. And I'll tell you, so the very first month, here's what happened though. Went out and I said, well, obviously I'm going to lose weight. I need to do a lot of exercise. So what did I do? I started Apple Fitness, which I absolutely love. I love that program. And so I was working out with Greg and I was working out with all these other guys, and I love the workouts. I had a major injury. My L4, L5 discs ruptured. This is an ongoing issue for me. So unfortunately, like they had major blowout. I remember one time I was going to visit my daughter, and like I was just laying while they got to walk around and hike around Garden of the Gods. I was laying flat on my back, writhing in pain. And while they were getting, I couldn't be with them. So that sucks. And so, what I know also, and I know this, comment below, where are abs made? Anyone who's lost weight, or maybe if there's any coaches, where are abs made? Abs are made not at the gym. Abs are made in the kitchen, right? And so eating is going to have such a dramatic impact. Like if you overeat, it is so hard to, overcome, 600 calorie, if you eat 600 too many calories in a day, that's really hard to work that off every single day. Like you're just net even, like you don't gain anything from it. So I just got really serious about my eating. All right. Oh, by the way, I want to share these too. These links right here. Here's how I fixed my back. Number one, go Google right now. If you ever have any physical pains, like you injure yourself, especially like back and spine related, go on YouTube and search for Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet. Those guys saved my life. So sanity. Like I'm so grateful because they show me all the stretching, all the moves. They recommended all the right tools. I'm going to show two of them right here. One is a link to an infrared belt that helped with all the muscles, and it helped with all the muscle pain. And there's just a link. It's just an Amazon one. I did a bunch of research. I picked this one off of Amazon. And then the other thing that I got was an inversion table. So I'm just going to, just in case anybody ever has an injury, man, these two things absolutely put me back to shape, plus all of the other stretching. Like I do Cobra stretch and a bunch of other stuff. So if you ever hurt your back, yeah. All right. Now, let me show you this book right here. I don't have it. I've got it on audiobook. Alan Carr's Stop Emotional Eating. If you've ever heard of lot of celebrities will talk about how they quit smoking. You'll hear a lot of stories about that. And a lot of them say, it's Alan Carr's Stop Smoking program. So he's got other books for alcohol, cannabis, gambling, like a bunch of other stuff. And I read the one, I listened to it twice in a row on emotional eating. It completely deprogrammed my mind. And I started thinking about how I look at rewarding myself, sympathizing, sympathy eating, that sort of thing. Oh, I had such a hard day. Get this book. When it comes to that topic of, do you eat to reward yourself or do you eat to console yourself? This book did it. Like, and not just like, oh, okay, I read the book. Now I got to work on it for like 3, 4, 6 months. I finished the book and I was changed. And a lot of people, just the way that he does it, it's almost like a cult deprogramming program, the way that he does it. I mean, he eliminates every single reason or excuse or story you've been told for what emotional eating is going to give you. And he just basically convinces you it's all a lie. Same thing with like smoking, drinking, cannabis, whatever your thing is or whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, like if you don't want to stop drinking, do not read that book. If you do not want to stop cannabis, do not read that book because it's going to mess with your brain and you're going to just naturally want to stop it. This book right here, absolutely change it. But I want to because I only have a few minutes left. I want to share a couple of other things that really dramatically made all the difference in how I lost 30 pounds. HelloFresh. Also, I started eating a lot healthier. And it's not an ad for them. I'm just telling you what I used. I don't care if you never buy from them. I don't care if you just like, well, I'm just going to go over to the grocery store and buy all this. Cool, do it. I'm just telling you what worked for me. I don't need the money. I don't need the affiliate links or any of that sort of stuff. But if you want to use this, you get some kind of discount. And I think I get $10 or something like that. I don't care, whatever. So just Google it if you don't want to use this link or whatever. But this is a link that I set up on myinfluence.com/HelloFresh. But I'm telling you, I've learned to cook. I've really learned to cook. We do 4 meals every single week. And every meal we get is generally healthy stuff. It's a lot of produce. I know someone was talking about, eating produce. Thank you so much, David Nordell, as well. Self-talk is so powerful. What you tell yourself you believe because you're always listening. That's that Alan Carr book. It changed my self-talk. All right. What's the biggest aha discovery moment right now? And this is the discovery. Because I only have a few minutes left. I think I've got a call I got to get on right now in just a few minutes. Okay. Here's the thing that if someone had told me this, I would really pencil this one away, right? I would remember this. Here's the biggest discovery out of everything I've learned. This whole journey over the past 6-8 months of losing this weight, I reprogrammed my response to a little bit of hunger. And it took an atomic habit of changing how I respond to a little bit of hunger. Because guess what? If you're a little bit hungry and you don't eat, you're not going to die. You're going to be okay. So who mentioned intermittent fasting earlier? Here's the thing. So if you get the munchies, if you get, oh gosh, it's 4:00. Well, at 4:00, I always eat. No, you don't have to, right? Oh, I always have a beer on Friday. You could, or maybe you don't need to. So what I did is I changed, and again, the Alan Carr stuff was really important to this. Again, you can go to, right here, myinfluence.com/eating, or just go into Amazon and search it yourself, Stop Emotional Eating. But that one, this is it. When I feel a little bit hungry, I'm like, okay, cool. No big deal. That was the biggest thing. I changed my hunger response. And then I repeated that over and over and over again. I did that for a good 30, 45 days. Get a little bit hungry. I changed my immediate response to that because my immediate response used to be, you need to eat or you're going to die. No, you're going to be all right. right? That's why you're, the IFers. I didn't really do IF. So I eat some protein in the morning. Usually super light lunch, even if I eat lunch at all. And then I eat a really good HelloFresh dinner, right? That's what I did, right? Lots of produce. I don't need all the drinks every day. I don't need all the desserts. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. Did I have alcohol? Yeah, I did. Did I have candy or desserts or treats or whatever from time to time? Yeah, I did. Generally, I tried to, it became more intuitive the more that I did it. At the beginning, it was not intuitive. I had to set the barriers, but the more I did it, the more intuitive I got and the easier it got. And I can tell you today, it is ridiculously easy for me to eat under 1,800 calories in a day. It's ridiculously easy. 6 months ago, that was hard as hell. What changed? My brain changed. How did my brain change? Atomic habits. I set new habits. I stuck to it. I changed my response cycle. I used all the tools that I shared in this video, and hopefully this is helpful. Listen, if you're in business for yourself, please jump on this Fame and Profit event. It's going to be amazing. Your network is your net worth. We're going to help you build a lot of relationships with your ideal clients and your customers. If you're in business for yourself, if you know someone who's a business owner, it's totally free. Just go to fameandprofit.com. We'd love to have you. Listen, thank you so much for watching all this stuff. Recognize you might be watching this long after I recorded it. I'll be watching them all. I'm going to comment, ask me questions. And by the way, if I offended you with anything that I said, please forgive me. Just know that I'm trying to come from my heart. If I was indelicate about something, I know we're talking about some pretty sensitive issues. I hope you know where my heart is. And I'm only sharing what worked for me. And also, I'm not a registered doctor. I'm not a doctor or a dietitian. This is only my story. So listen, love you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting me share my story with you. Hopefully you've picked up a few things that would be super helpful for you. Have a wonderful rest of the day and rest of the week. And we'll see you at Fame and Profit.